Welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with your boy DP. And how y'all been doing, man? Your boy's back. I've been, handling a few things. Just recently made a appearance on the Miami Flow show. You feel me? Shout out to Miami Flow. Y'all go over there, like, share, subscribe. You feel me? Show love over there also. You feel me? I appreciate them for that opportunity. To be able to join their pod. And I also want to say Happy New Year to everyone out there. You feel me? Hopefully everyone been a good New Year so far. 2025 already starting out a little crazy. Feel me? My condolences to the people that lost their loved ones in the New Orleans incident. And this show, I missed covering some of the games that happened over the college football playoffs, as far as the Penn State Boise State game. I'm pretty sure Penn State, they really didn't just flat out dominate Boise State, but at the same time, they dominated Boise State. It was obvious that Penn State was the better team in that game. The Texas versus Arizona State game was very interesting to me. It was surprising nonetheless. Because, the first three quarters, Texas was pretty much dominating the game for the most part. I ain't gonna just say straight dominating, because Arizona State, they was game planning, man. They got some yards. They outgained Texas in almost every aspect of the game. And then the fourth quarter came around and Arizona State really turned up the heat. They tied the game up and ended up taking that thing into a second overtime. Lost in the second overtime. I feel like they didn't take advantage of all the opportunities they was given. And the targeting call that everybody's having an uproar about, me personally, I don't feel like that was targeting. I don't think the safety lowered his head or anything. I think the safety clearly seen everything he was hitting. And I wouldn't necessarily say the wide receiver was that defenseless of a player. But who else played? Yes, the Oregon and Ohio State game. Man, Ohio State looking scary, man. That boy Jeremiah Smith is the truth. He's a beast. That young man is a gangster out there. He ain't playing around. I love it. South Florida, baby. You feel me? I represent any player that's from the state of Florida. You feel me? Shout out to you. Keep doing your thing, young man. The young man remind me of a humble version of Terrell Owens. You feel me? I might be crazy, but that's what it looked like to me. The young man is balling. Oregon, they couldn't stop him. They couldn't handle him. There was nothing they could do with him. Ohio State meant business that game. They went to the Rose Bowl and they took care of business. It was ugly out there for Oregon. And I know it's hard to beat the same team twice anyhow. And Ohio State, they was prepared for the battle. They looking like the best team in the nation right now. And then you got the Notre Dame versus Georgia. I'm going to be honest with you. That was kind of an easy game for Notre Dame. Not far as, because Georgia defense, they played good. So don't get me wrong. Georgia defense, they played as good as they could for as long as they could held out. But the offense was limited. Notre Dame didn't respect the passing attack none whatsoever. So they just played the run. Georgia already had a problem running the ball this season. So with that being said, they didn't have a passing attack at all. It really hurt the offensive game plan, to be honest with you. And Notre Dame was just 10 off. And what was even crazier to me, that Notre Dame defensive line looked much faster and quicker than the Georgia offensive line could handle. You feel me? They got some big guys up there in that Georgia O-line. But I guess Notre Dame was a little quick for them, man. But I'm going to get into that. But before I get into that, man, I want to talk about Freaky Fox Sports. Yes, Freaky Fox Sports, man. Heard some freaky stuff going on up there. I want to just get my little 1-2 cents about it. And then I'm going to talk about the college games that's coming up. You feel me? So bear with me. Let me get a little water. So we got Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless in a sexual harassment lawsuit. Their former hairdresser is filing a lawsuit against those two. And it's crazy, man. It's a crazy situation, very unfortunate situation. Listen, I'm gonna talk about Skip, but I want to talk about Miss Joy Taylor first. Listen, this is a beautiful woman. As you can see, the woman is very, very beautiful. And I used to watch the show all the time, like, damn, that's a beautiful woman. You say that all the time to myself. But never would I thought she would have been the type of woman to use that to manipulate men. But hey, I don't know why I would say never, because you never know. Some of these women, they can take advantage of you with their looks, and that I guess she was doing. The hairdresser accusing her of messing around with one of the head man at Fox, last name Dixon, saying seemed like they had some kind of intimate relationship, and she was using her goodies to work her way to the top. And I feel like when situations happen like this, it gives a lot of these men that supposedly have power or money or some kind of, big status, they kind of get misjudged. You feel me? As in their judgment, they misjudge and think every woman is gonna be the same. And when a woman tell them no, they not going for that. They don't get down like that. And somewhere in their head, I feel like they still think, she gonna break at some point. She gonna break at some point. Not knowing the dangerous game that they're playing. And it also tells me that Skip Bayless probably have done this multiple times to other women, but some of them other women probably took the bait. 1.5 mil is crazy for the boxing. I'm just saying that right now. That is outrageous. 1.5 mil for the box. Come on now, Skip. And he probably really was thinking, ain't no way she's really gonna turn no 1.5 million down. Skip, you can't be out here doing that, man. And then supposedly they say you was hating on my boy Shannon Sharp. You thinking the hairdresser one old Shannon. You probably feeling like she being more cool with Shannon than you. But Skip, he was coming off inappropriate off the rip. And every man knows. I don't care how hard-headed, you feel me, or how unacknowledged or how much a dude try to ignore the fact. But every man knows when a woman is uncomfortable or she really just not feeling you like that. Every man with some decency and some common sense understands that and know when to back off and know when to not to overstep their boundaries. And then you got some men that feel like they got a little bit of power, a little bit of status over you, and they can use stuff over your head to take advantage of you, which is not cool. So that's why women like Joy Taylor is dangerous to the women that do have some kind of, I ain't gonna want to say self-respect, because I ain't gonna just disrespect Miss Joy Taylor like that, but I will say women that want to work their way to the top just by working hard, grinding without having to do any extra favors, women that just they got morals and boundaries, they get bundled in with women like Joy Taylor, and men of power just look at them all the same. And when they get confused and lost when a woman actually don't want no part of that. Money ain't that important to her to degrade herself like that. You feel me? And what I also want to say was dangerous about Miss Joy Taylor is the hairdresser also said that if the I want to say the manager, the last name Mr. Dixon, if he got mad about her encounter with the Emmanuel character that was formerly in the NFL, now he do all kind of sports shows and stuff on Fox and etc. Well, I don't want to say Fox, but he do a lot of sports shows. We see him something everywhere on TV. She said that Miss Joy Taylor told her if Mr. Dixon was to get mad about that situation and try to use that against her, she would accuse him of sexually assaulting her or rape or something like that, which is crazy. Because now women that actually had it happen to them, people looking at them, did that really happen, or is she mad about something? You feel me? We gotta be careful of women like Miss Joy Taylor, sad to say. She's a dangerous woman if she's willing to use her looks, her beauty to take advantage of women and other men. You feel me? Because you doing stuff like that, you're not only hurting your character, you're hurting the women that's innocent and that's innocently going through certain situations. You having them looked as the way as if these guys are looking at you because you are willing to go through it. And they might be thinking this because, we know this hairdresser because you Joy Taylor, so she must be going down. She must be down with the get down like you is. But no, everybody not like that. And for Skip Bayless, man, I'm very disappointed in Skip Bayless if this is true, because I ain't gonna just assume everything true. But hey, why this lady gotta come out and lie? I ain't gonna just sit out here and call the hairdresser a liar neither. So I'm gonna just say if it's true. But yeah, Skip Bayless is very disappointing, man. A lot of people don't like you. I found you amusing, some of your points and takes, like, feel me? But it's just crazy, because if you've done the hairdresser like this, you probably have other encounters with people that didn't want to say anything, probably took that payday. Hey, I know women in my hood, where I'm from, Palaca, Florida, a lot of them would have jumped on that real quick. But people that got some morals and money and everything, they deserve justice and they deserve fair treatment in the workplace. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me get a little water before I talk about the games, you feel me, that's coming up. I ain't gonna get too in detail about these games. I'm gonna just talk about it a little bit, then pick my winner. But the first game we're gonna talk about is Notre Dame versus Penn State. Notre Dame is a 2.5 point favorite in this game, which I feel like justly so. Even though these two teams are kind of even as far as like how they build and how their playing style, they like to ground and pound, open stuff up a little bit. Both defenses is pretty good, but if I would have to give the edge to anyone, I give the edge to Notre Dame in this game. And it's the preferable team to win to get the best national championship game, if we're being honest. Because let's just say if Penn State do win this game, they're going to get there, and more than likely they might see Ohio State, they might see Texas. I feel like they're going to get intimidated against teams like those two. You feel me? I feel like they already played Ohio State, and I feel like they fold every time they see them. And Texas got some big boys on that O-line, D-line, you feel me? So they going to come with that smoke. But as far as the Notre Dame, the Penn State game, Riley Leonard has showed me that he is actually a pretty good quarterback. I was doubting him in the beginning of the season. I was talking trash about him. I was saying he really can't pass the ball. But he can pass the ball for the most part when he need to. When they need it, he can get it to the receiver. But he's more deadly with his legs. Like, we can't deny that. He is a factor. And Drew Aller, quarterback for Penn State. Penn State mustn't put the game in his hands. Like, don't force Drew Aller to win this game for you. Now, if you have to be in passing situations, draw up the best plays you can for him to do his job. But don't make him be the quarterback throwing the ball 45, 50 times in this game. Use your two running backs that's responsible for they probably 1,000-yard rushes at this point. You got 2,000-yard rushes at this point of the season. I'm pretty sure Allen and Singleton is at that mark. And then you got Tyler Warren, the X Factor. He is a very dangerous tight end. Involve him as much as possible in this game plan. Also, I always say this when I talk about Penn State, because these are the things they need to do to win. But I don't know, man. I'm giving the W to Notre Dame, even though I dislike Notre Dame because I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. But I got to be real. They got a good team this year. They got a lot of good players. And they taking care of business. Even though they had that one slip up against whatever, Northern Illinois, that's what the team is against them. They had that one slip up against them, and they ain't looked back since. They've been playing very good defense. They got a very good secondary, and their defensive line really impressed me against the Georgia offensive line. So I'm going to pick Notre Dame in this game. I'm going to also pick them to win by a field goal. I feel like it's going to be a hard-fought battle because these teams are very even. Honestly, this game could go either way, if I'm being honest. But I'm giving Notre Dame because I feel like Notre Dame's offense is a little better than Penn State's offense. Because I've seen sometimes where if Penn State didn't get those big plays against SMU in the first round of the playoffs, Penn State offense was kind of struggling a little bit. You feel me? So the defensive touchdowns really helped that score look more lopsided than the game actually was. So, like I said, with that being said, I'm picking Notre Dame, and I'm picking Notre Dame to cover the 2.5 point spread. Now we're finna talk about this last game. We got Ohio State going up against Texas. Ohio State is a 5.5 point favorite in this game. And I feel like that's justly shows. I mean, justly right. I feel like Ohio State, sad to say, because I definitely dislike these boys. I wish they would lose, and I wish Jeremiah Smith would come to you. But that dream is looking far less from reality. So, yeah, man, Ohio State is looking very, very dangerous at this point of the season. They look unbeatable. The way they took care of Tennessee, the way they took care of Oregon, man, that defense is playing hungry. When I see that defense play, I see a team that wanted it. I see a team that won a national championship when I see that defense play, just being honest with you, man. When they played Tennessee, when that Ohio State defense was out there flying around, and they laid that wood to Nico and cracked his helmet around, I want to say one of their first drive or second drive of the game. It had Nico shook the rest of the game. He didn't want to be out there no more. Ohio State was out there hit. When they was out there flying around, laying that wood on Oregon, it took the fight out of them. And then they just got so many weapons on offense. It's ridiculous, man. I don't think Texas is ready to handle that. Texas already showed you how they play against a team with a good defense, as in Georgia. But now they finna play a team with a good defense and an explosive offense. You're not gonna be able to run the ball the way you did against Clemson. Now, man, you may get some running plays here and there. But if you think you finna run the ball on Ohio State the way you did Clemson, you got another thing coming. Them boys are ready and they hungry. And it's sad to say, if they feed J Money Smith, Mr. Jeremiah Smith, the ball, the game is over. The young man can't be stopped. He's playing like a senior right now. The man already NFL ready. Let's just be honest. The man walked on campus the number one receiver in the building as a freshman. Miami, we missed out on that. We sure did. But salute to Jeremiah Smith. They got too many weapons. They got a bouquet. They got Junkins, Henderson. Will Howard is actually playing pretty serviceable right now. Sad to say, Texas, I don't really see too much for you. Now, I know y'all can compete in this game and keep it competitive if y'all play a clean game, execute at a high level. But sometimes it looks shaky when it comes to the Texas offense. Even in the Clemson game, Clemson actually made a little, fight, gave y'all a little fight and tried to shake back. They just couldn't stop the run. But y'all playing a team that's pretty good against the run in Ohio State. So they got Ohio State a 5.5 point favorite in this game. I'm going with Ohio State, even though I don't like the Ohio State Buckeyes. But I gotta get them boys their respect. They out there balling and taking care of business. And more than likely, they're going to be the national champions this year. Even though they lost against Michigan, Ryan Day can be like, hey, we still got the natty. So ain't no way you finna fire a coach. Even though he keep losing against Michigan, one of y'all the natty, y'all ain't finna fire him. Now, the Ohio State fans might feel otherwise, but realistic people who watch college football know you don't fire a man that averages damn near 11 wins a season and finna take you to the promised land. Now, do you? But like I said, I'm picking Ohio State to win. I'm picking Ohio State to cover the 5.5 point favorite. Texas ain't ready for this. We already seen what they do against Georgia, and I feel like Ohio State will dog walk Georgia this year, just from what Georgia showed me in the other games. So that's all I got. I'm actually gonna talk about some of the games in the NFL because the playoffs coming. I know I haven't covering the NFL week by week, but I do want to talk about the playoffs because I've been watching a little bit of NFL lately, And when it comes to me as a fan who I root for in the NFL, I'm a Florida boy. I don't have a particular team in the NFL, so I just root for all the teams. I root for Jacksonville Jaguars, I root for the Miami Dolphins, and I root for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sadly, the Jacksonville Jaguars are Percival ass McSpanky this season. The Dolphins, y'all just should have lost. You feel me? Ain't no point in winning 8 games and losing 9 of them. Y'all should just lost and got the highest pick y'all could get. And you got your boy Tyreek Hill mad. But this is what happened when you choose money over rings. You feel me? Kind of the same thing with Carmelo, man. Like, when you choose the money over getting the ring, you can't complain if your team ain't doing good a particular year. Not saying Carmelo Anthony did that. By the way, that's my favorite player, so I ain't throwing no shots at Melo. You feel me? Shout out to him. But, yeah, Tyreek Hill. So, if I was the Dolphins, I'd keep your ass there. I'm just being real. And I try to build talent around you and stuff, but you can't complain, man, unless you go back to Kansas City and take that pay cut if they want you back, which they probably will happily take Tyreek Hill back and give Patrick Mahomes, boy, somebody else to slang that rock to. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Like, share, subscribe, you feel me? It's all about you. Just talk sports with your boy DP. And the kid is out, man. Deuces.